We look at this wide receiver room. It's a lot different than like 2 years ago. Like, how has this room evolved? Really, even since you've been here, both of your stints.
For sure. I think more than anything, just as time goes on, for me personally, just developing, not only worrying about what I can do to be the best me, but, now that I'm older, coming into that leadership role and being there for the younger guys.
What's the competition level in that room? Seems there's a lot of guys who have a lot of skill. How do you guys kind of push each other there?
I think just the competition, it's not something that we have to really talk about.
Sure.
It's a culture that Coach McDonald builds. And, we go out there, all of us are high wire guys, and we just go out there compete. You see a guy making a play, that's kind of naturally something that gets you going.
Yeah, Isaiah was talking about this earlier this week that just with knowing the offense a little better, that he can get a little more creative in what he does as a receiver. Do you feel that same thing that you can? I mean, he said put his own swagger.
Exactly, yeah, for sure. I think just as time goes on, like I said, just getting comfortable in your own skin as a player, and obviously as the offense comes on and you learn the offense better, I think it just everything kind of unfolds naturally.
How do you think you've grown just in that regard, like knowing the offense and just maybe making your spot yours, maybe your position?
For sure. I think more than anything, just the repetitions I've had on the offense, and this is year 2 for me with the offense, and just the repetition of everything is making the game a lot slower for me.
This isn't your first time having to make a new connection with a new quarterback. Is there anything, those past experiences that you've learned that to help kind of ease that process in spring?
I think more than anything, just being patient. You're not going to get out on the first day and and be Tom Brady and Julio Jones. Like it's a process, and from day one to now, we've grown, and that's all that matters. We'll just keep getting better.
Brett told a story about how he tried to call you when you were at lunch with Luke, and
Yeah.
he said a lot about Luke himself. Does you see him do those kinds of things? Does that mean a lot to you guys in the receiver room, reaching out and
Yeah.
going out to lunch, stuff like that?
He acts like he's a quiet guy that doesn't talk much, but he's got a mouth on him. We went out to Chick-fil-A that day. I remember Coach B had something to say about me putting the shirt on, but he's a character.
Tell us a little bit about Luke, the quarterback. What have you learned about him and the time you've spent with him here?
I think in the offseason I've just seen that he's a natural competitor, and he wants to win. And when we're doing drills out there, whether it's like routes on air, anything, he's out there with us throwing the ball to us. He doesn't accept average from himself, and that's huge, especially from how old he is. And as a leader, and especially as a quarterback, that's a big thing, just to have that your own push behind your own back.
What were your initial impressions of Luke? Because it's just hard to not think about how it's a 180-degree difference from Tommy personality-wise.
Yeah, for sure. The thing that stepped out to me was the visit he had here. One of the first things I saw him was he was wearing a Justin Bieber hat. And I was like, oh, this dude might, well, let me see what this dude. I was like, hey, listen to Justin Bieber. He was like, it's like, I'm all Justin Bieber. So, I'm a big Justin Bieber fan. Probably shouldn't be saying that on camera, but yeah, he's got a personality. And at first you might think he's a quiet guy and he's kind of closed off, but as he gets comfortable around people, he's got a good personality and he's good character.
Coach McDonald said, like, typically for him, year 3 in the system is where things start to flourish with him and the receivers. What is it about just maybe that time together that maybe that step is allowed to happen at this point?
Exactly. As time goes on, I think anything that you're doing consistently, you'll get better at. But I think now for me, just, you can say, okay, well, this is year 3 and this is the year that, things should unfold and this should work out. But more than anything, just day to day, just, enjoying the process and just showing up every day.
What do you personally want to build on from a year ago?
I want to be a receiver that can change the game. I've shown that I can make catches in tough moments, but I think I'm more than a possession wide receiver, and it's time to show that.
Coach Lonnie talked about just upping the tempo. Last year, have you felt that even just in a week of spring ball, that you're just trying to play a little faster offensively?
Oh yeah, we had a walkthrough the other night, and we were wearing our tennis shoes, and we got our turbo plays. We got to get set on the ball, and I'm over there like, we got to slow down. Like, I haven't stretched. I'm wearing tennis shoes. I'm 100 years old. Like, we got to slow down. So it's something that there's pressure from them, and even from us. We know we're going to be a tempo offense, and we just got to be wired that way.
Have you felt the responsibility of, say, those top 3 experienced guys like you, yourself, Isaiah and Pat, just kind of knowing what you're supposed to be doing and leading by example?
I think there's comfort in the fact that us 3 together, and even some other guys in the room, but us three have went through the process of last year of the growing pains of just, learning a new offense and becoming comfortable in the system. So, now that we're able to be back together and we got our feet wet, we know the offense, I think that's a big deal.
Having that comfortability and that knowledge, like, what more do you guys think you can kind of show them now, next year or in the fall?
I think more than anything, like I said, just, showing up day to day, being a competitor, and, just trusting the process. We can talk about, 1,000 yards and what every receiver talks about and, let's make this season the best season. But I think to get to that point where, you've reached that success, you just have to be in the moment, and now it's just enjoying the process.
It's not Sean still in the green jersey for now, but just what have you seen just in what he's been able to do coming back off of his injury?
For sure. He's super athletic. What is this, his second year? He already looks like a third year, fourth year player in the weight room. Like, he's strong, he's physical, he's confident. So, when he gets a chance and when he's healthy, he'll make an impact.
You said you're 100 years old. Are you the oldest guy in the room? Isaiah might have some
I
competition.
think Isaiah might be the oldest, but, I'm getting up there.
Getting up there. What's that? I mean, that experience. Like, how do you try to pass that on to some of those guys? Because it's increasingly younger room.
For sure. I think, in the past, it might have been, more of leading by example. But, to step in that leadership role, it's not just, going out there and making plays, but it's actually vocally talking to the younger guys and showing them right from wrong. And even from my experiences that I mess up on, they can see that from the sideline, and we both can, learn from that moment. So I think that's big.
I mean, Isaiah talked about thinking he needs to be a better vocal leader as well, just do it more. Like, have you two talked about that, knowing you're kind of the veterans in the room, that's something that maybe is expected of you guys now?
Yeah, we actually sat down, had dinner, and we talked about it. It's definitely something, you look at the great teams, the great programs, the great players, all of them have that leadership characteristic about themselves. And it's not something that you necessarily have to talk about all the time, but it's something you can feel. And when you have that, people around you can feel that.
Do you go to dinner and lunch with everybody on the team?
I like to go out and do nice things. Yeah.